Hi there everyone, welcome to this little YouTube video. Today I want to show you some of the techniques I use in my in-person workshops. So I've started this morning doing a little bit of printing. I just want to show you some of these techniques that I've been using. So this is on wet strength tissue paper, which is absolutely brilliant for collage. I'm using this on it's a bit like copy paper sort of thickness. I'm showing some of the image transfers using leaf silhouettes. So I'd just like to show you some of these simple techniques to get you started with your jelly plate, or if you've come to one of my in-person classes and you want a refresher once you get home on the techniques that you've learnt, so you can just go over them and try again in your own home. Okay, so we'll just get started and I'll show you some of these techniques. Okay, so this is a 8 by 10 inch jelly plate. So I'm just going to get started with some indigo blue. I've got a nice roller here. Just give it a little clean there. So I'm putting on my paint, not too thick, not too thin. Just blending the colour with the roller, using it like a mixing tool. So I'm lifting, as you can see, I'm lifting the roller and not going like this. So a lot of people in in-person classes tend to roll like this, like they're painting their kitchen wall. So we're just going to be smooth, covering the plate like so. So I'm just going to start off by making some marks. So this is from household, I think it's for putting under your wet dishes. Just have a look around your hardware department and you'll find lots of things to press into the jelly plate. I've got a clean roller here. I'm just going to put some pressure on that piece there. I'm going to lift that off and you can see the lovely imprint that's made. I'm going to start our first sheet. So I've got some paper here. It's about the same thickness as cheap photocopy paper. I'm going to start off with this one. Using the flat of my hand. If you have problems getting your hand flat, a little tip for you is to use like the lid of a Pringles tub and just press down like that. Some people that I've been teaching have had a little bit of arthritis and found that quite tricky, so that's a way to get around it. So let's see, that's our first pull. So we've got something to get going with. There's still some ink left on that plate. So I'm just going to pick up this one that's lying on the floor. I tend to have my papers all around me and just grab them as I go. I really like that little frame there with a little piece of leaf coming over. So interesting. Okay, let's try a different colour. I'm going to go for some of this iridescent blue-green. You can either clean your roller off in between. I always keep these papers because they tend to make nice collage as well. So again, just mixing on the plate. So I'm going to try using a mark making tool, which is a comb. You can use anything at all as long as it's not sharp, to make impressions in your. You can use a silicone tool, make your own designs. Something like that. Regular shapes. Then I'm going to go back over the same piece. So I don't like to go in the middle, I just sort of work my way around the page, overlapping as I go. And we've got the two layers there. And we'll get another one from there. There's still paint on there, I can see it. So I'm going to take a piece of this Chinese paper, Japanese paper, I'm not quite sure. It's beautiful paper and it picks up so much detail. Very delicate, careful. a bit too dry, that paint. It's ripping the paper. But there's some nice parts now. You can see how see-through that is. You can see my fingers. Got some lovely texture there. Now there's paper stuck to here, so I'm going to have to clean this to get onto the next bit. I'm going to take a little bit of spray water to get that off. And then I'm just going to scrape it off with this tool. Now, you want to make sure your plate's completely dry before you do the next layer of paint. But you can get interesting techniques with wet water into the paint, but that's not what we're trying to achieve just now. So I think what I want to do next is create some windows in here, and I'll show you how I'd like to do that. I'm going to do a bit of white and a bit of yellow, and I'm going to try blending these, see what happens. White at this end. So you get a nice sort of sunset feel there. It's nice. I think I'm going to try this page that I cut out earlier, see what happens. So I've got my dark paper here, and place that on top. It's a lot of trial and error when you're generally printing. Just try different things. It's only paper, it's only paint. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. Ooh, quite interesting. Let's try another one. So I've got this page here. I'm going to try working some of that in the top. Another layer on there. I'm going to try and put some you have to work quite quickly when you're using this technique before the paint dries. I've got this page here which has got some circles. I'm going to add another layer. So it starts to look like a screen print when you've got the different layers. So depending on the viscosity of the paint, whether it's transparent or opaque, some areas are going to come through. But I love that. That's coming out really well. Okay, doke. Give that a little clean. And dry. I've got some stuff on here, so I'm just going to give that a little wipe too. Make sure my rollers are clean. Cleanish, that will be good enough. So I'm going to try and print with some of these leaves I've got lying about and see if we can get them to work. I'm going to maybe try a white again. I really like the bamboo leaves, they make a lovely silhouette shape. I'm going to try these. There's not an awful lot of leaves about at this time of year, but these seem to be around all year. My neighbours kindly got one growing outside their garden. It seems to lose a few leaves now and again. Okay, got a nice pattern going on there. So, let's see. This is quite a dark one, so let's see what happens if I layer that on top of there. I'm going to give it a good press. I think I'll use this roller. Make sure it's nice and firmly pressed down. Get in between all the stalks. So you're getting a lovely tree silhouette going on there. Beautiful. Now I'm going to take these off and I should get another print with the white. Got some dark areas here, so let me try that on top of there. Yeah, so that's quite interesting combination of the solid shape with the more linear shape, so I like that. Right, one more image leaf one, and I'll show you some image transfer. Okay, we'll go with a dark colour this time. They try squashing them a bit. Not sure how this one's going to work. It's a bit. See what happens anyway. I'm going to use a bit of newsprint. It's nice and thin, this paper. Really press down hard. Try not to move the foliage. Not sure this is going to work. Quite interesting shapes going on though. Let's see if we get anything. Just a normal A4 copy paper for this one. Gently. I'm not going to push too hard because I don't want to squish all the paint into the marks. Not exactly what I wanted, but it's interesting marks going on. We try a second pull. Pressing a bit harder this time to pick up all the paint. Quite a different effect with your ghost. It's called a ghost print when you get a subsequent print. So from one rolling of the paint, that's the 3 different qualities you can get. And when I'm doing collage, what I like to do is have very dark pieces, mid-tones and light, and work with them in combination. So it's good to have different papers to work with when you're collaging at the next stage to make finished paintings. Okay, I'll show you a little image transfer now. Clear away some of this messiness. And you want your plate to be nice and clean before you start for this technique. So I'm hoping to get something similar to this. And the magazine that I've had the most success with is the Vogue magazine. It's quite a shiny surface. So you want to look for something that's got a lot of contrast in it, so a lot of black and white. Something that's got white areas, dark in behind our neck. That would probably work well. Or strong lettering if you want to use lettering in your paintings. So I'll do a couple of these. That's got a little pattern that would probably pick up quite well. Let's have a try. A few different images here to try with you. Right, so I like to use the black with a little bit of Payne's grey mixed in. Works quite well for me. Take off some of these bits of plant. You don't want to have too much paint. It's kind of nice even layer. Okay, that's about the perfect amount now. Now, let's see, I've got some papers here. Let's see what we can have a go with. So there's some text I like. Really like the pattern her dress. This one's maybe a bit too grey tone. I'm not sure if that's going to work. A lot of lights and darks in this one. I'll try this one first. So I'm pressing it. You can pull it at the edge to see if it's lifting. And put it back down if you think it can soak up a bit more. Yeah, that looks like it might be working quite well. Try that. This thin copy paper seems to work quite well with this technique. So I'm putting quite a lot of firm pressure on this, pulling it back. Yeah, quite nice. Well, I love the softness of the image transfer. It's not something you can create with a paintbrush. It's quite nice, but you can work back into these faces and paint more into them, use them as part of collage. The images from magazines are not copyright free, but if you're using them in a way where the image is distorted or just little bits of the face will be showing or little bits of text, I think it's fine. But if you're, it's a well-known face, or you've got to be quite careful. But just little bits of text or pattern certainly are fine, I would say. Okay, let's try a different one. So the black I'm using is the Graduate Acrylic Black. That seems to be quite a good one. Definitely trial and error with this technique. different paints work better than others. When I was at the workshop last week, I had another black acrylic and I couldn't get any to pull, so please don't be disheartened if it doesn't work. There's lots of variables. It could be your room temperature, the paper, it's just the magazine you're using. So this one here has got a pattern I quite like. So you can print this on top of another print that you've done that's already got a textured background. I'll show you that in a minute. Yeah, that works quite well. I like the way that the text comes out the right way round. It reverses when you print. So that's how you do an image transfer using Vogue magazine. Let's see if you wanted to use some text in amongst, say, your botanical prints. So I'll just do an area here with, just to show you how you can combine the two. You can use different colours, it doesn't have to be black, but I find that the dark colours certainly work best for this when I'm demonstrating. Text seems to work particularly well because you've got a strong black and a strong white. So say I've got that one there which was quite delicate. I want to place the text in behind it. Yeah, I love this area here. That sort of organic shape, but the text. Yeah, I'll definitely use that as part of a collage in one of my paintings. Really like that. Okay, so that's a little taster for you today on jelly printing and some of the techniques I use. I have got a longer course. It's called Botanical Gel Printing, where I go into a lot more depth and show you how you can use your prints to make finished paintings. So if you're interested in that, I'll leave the link in the notes for you. But I hope you've enjoyed that video today. If you've enjoyed it, if you leave a comment, like and subscribe. Okay, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you soon. Bye for now.